Anyway, delighted to have you. I want to introduce you to a good friend, Linda Childers, President and CEO of the Daniels Fund. She is a recovering banker. For a long period of time, she was in banking. I don't know a lot of her history, but know a lot of the banking happened in Colorado. I think her husband still is engaged in the banking community as the director of the Association of Banks in Colorado. And so she was in the banking industry. And one of the things that Bill Daniels wanted to do was to have a bank for kids, for young people. And so right across the street, isn't it, from your place, is a bank for young people that Linda used to be affiliated with and helped start, because Bill Daniels thought that was an important thing to do. And so she knew Bill Daniels and worked with Bill Daniels for a long time. She can tell you about what kind of car he expected you to drive and that kind of stuff. But he must have been a fascinating and interesting person to know, but he certainly had an eye for talent. And when he picked Linda Childers, he picked one of the best. Would you welcome the President and CEO of the Daniels Foundation, Linda Childers.
Well, Barb and I are going to have to take up golf. I'm certain this crowd. Well, it is really exciting for us to be with you today, so thanks for inviting us down. Barb was actually involved from the very beginning with the Young Americans Bank as well. And knowing Bill Daniels, as we did in that project, was really quite a treat in life, and it's really helped us now in administering his foundation. Bill passed away 10 years ago, and he left a foundation that works in Colorado, New Mexico, Wyoming, and Utah. We have a scholarship program, and we fund in 10 different areas. One of those areas is ethics and business. And we didn't have a lot of activity in that area for the first several years of the foundation. You heard Brent last night. We had a wonderful relationship with UW, and we had a relationship with Daniels College of Business in Denver, but not much more than that. So we sat down a couple years back and said, we don't think the big guy would be happy with that. So how do we do this? How do we really do justice to what was important to Bill? So we took to the board several ideas and said, how do you see it? What do you think Bill meant when he was talking about ethics? So we looked at examples from his life and we said, what did he do? What did he say? How did he live this? And maybe that gives us guidance on how he would want his dough spent in working with business schools. So I want to tell you 3 little stories about Bill and what ethics meant to him. He grew up in southern New Mexico in Hobbs. First he went to work for his father's insurance company, then went to the military, came back, and his younger brother Jack, some of you may know Jack, but Jack was now running the insurance company. Well, Bill wasn't probably going to work for his little brother, so he started an insurance company in Wyoming, and he knew all these oil guys up there. There had to be some dough in Wyoming, so he went up there, started his own insurance company. Bill did not have a lot of resources at this time. This is a young man out of the military. So he sells a policy to a warehouse owner, and the warehouse has an accident on the site. Someone is killed. Well, unbeknownst to Bill, the underwriter had gone bankrupt. So legally, there was no obligation to pay the claim. And Bill Daniels was outraged. He said, that's not right. Especially not right because I sold the policy. And it's my reputation on the line. And as a young man with no resources, he paid the claim because that's what he thought was the right thing to do. He went on, made his fortune in cable television, and there's story after story in his business life about how integrity trumped all. And when Bill passed away, people everywhere said this was a man with great integrity. And it was integrity that never wavered. This was so simple to Bill. It was so simple. It wasn't a legal question. It wasn't a moral question. It wasn't it was simply right or wrong. And that's how he lived his life. And he looked at business in a very long-term sense. This decision's going to be hard to swallow for the bottom line right now, but it's the best decision for my long-term business strategy, and it served him well. So he loved sports also. And along the way, he wanted to own a sports team. So when he made some money, he bought the Utah Stars. It was the American Basketball League Utah Stars. It didn't work out so well. The team didn't do very well. The team filed bankruptcy. In fact, the league went away. So Bill was legally discharged in bankruptcy and left town. He described it as the lowest point in his life because he felt he had really let people down and that the people who purchased season tickets and the vendors counted on it. So he left town, kept track of the names and addresses of every single season ticket holder and every vendor. When he made his next fortune, Bill was good at making fortunes. When he made his next fortune, he went back to the state of Utah and repaid every season ticket holder and every vendor with 8% interest, because to him, that was the right thing to do. He's broke again, but he's feeling okay about himself. He leaves town, and as you know, it worked out well for Bill in the long run. But about 25 years ago, he made a substantial grant to the University of Denver for the Daniels College of Business. And he said, you know, the university approached him for some funding for expansion, and Bill said, I'm not real pleased with what I see from business schools. You guys tend to teach accounting, you tend to teach law, you tend to teach marketing, you tend to teach whatever, but that's not how it works when you're running a business. All of those things come together, and they come together as you make decisions, and all of those things need to be grounded in an ethical framework that then carries the business long term. So it became the central theme for everything they do and tied all of these things together. So when Barb and I started working with the board, we said, you know, for Bill, it was really principle-based ethics. And that's what we set out to do. And the board said, this is great. This is great. It's going to be important that we find universities that, like our friends at the University of Denver and the University of Wyoming, have a commitment from the top levels, the highest levels, and that the deans of those business schools really believe this and they really want to participate. And as Gary said, the purpose is students and engagement of the business community so that the students are seeing live day-to-day examples of what business people are dealing with. Barb and I have had so much fun working with this group, I cannot tell you. They are teaching us the buzzwords in academia. We are trying to teach them the buzzwords in foundation world, but you know, they're kind of hard to learn. You know, we've had a great, great time. And it is great to see this, and we're seeing these kinds of examples across the 4 states and in all of our university partners, and it's just been an absolute pleasure for us. So thanks for having us, and I hope you have a wonderful day, and hope you all are charged to go back and integrate ethics in everything that you're doing. Thank you.
Thank you very much.